Adrian Gonzalez is a free man this morning after a jury acquitted him of all 29 charges in the Uvalde trial.
The jury deliberated for 7 hours, moving to clear him of all accusations of his involvement on that dreaded day back in May of 2022. Our Natalia Osuna shows us how the jury arrived at their decision and key takeaways from the trial.
After the defense and prosecution made their closing arguments, the jury deliberated for 7 hours and reached a verdict. Ultimately, the jury determined Adrian Gonzalez is not guilty, much to the heartbreak of family members of the shooting victims. It was a tense moment at the Nueces County Courthouse when Judge Sid Harrell announced the verdict.
In each of the 29 counts, we, the jury, find the defendant, Adrian Gonzalez, not guilty.
Tears burst out in the courtroom on both sides of the gallery. On one side, we saw families clutching their crosses and holding their breath. And on the other side, Adrian Gonzalez and his family hugged each other and their attorneys in celebration. Over the course of the trial, Gonzalez did not take the stand, but he did speak, at least publicly, for the first time, shortly after receiving that not guilty verdict. The defense team at his side. Here's what he said.
Adrian, what does moving on look like to you?
Just picking up the pieces and moving forward. That's it.
Is there anything you want to say to the families?
No, not right now.
After Judge Harrell read the jury's verdict, we caught up with family members of the victims and asked them what was running through their minds in that moment. Juanita and Jalissa Rizzo have been at the courthouse for the trial since the very beginning.
Would you like to say anything? No, just, well, yeah. I do want that the system failed the children, the teachers, again, over and over again. They keep freaking failing us.
I want to say two things. We want justice for Jackie. And I want to say another thing is that there was 2 monsters on May 24th, and one was a shooter and the other was a monster that never went in and could have avoided this.
It's been 3 years since tragedy struck that day at Robb Elementary, killing 19 students and 2 teachers. As someone who's been covering this trial over the last 2 weeks, it was emotional from beginning to end. As you just heard from those family members, families of the victims seem to agree that justice was not served. Gonzalez's defense team said questions from the jury showed that there were gaps in the prosecution's case. So a lot of emotions at the Nueces County Courthouse.
Thank you, Natalia. Later on First Edition, our Alexis Green will join us live with a more in-depth coverage of this historic case and its verdict, as well as why there is a concern this morning there may not be enough money to pay for counselors to help jurors who just sat through this emotional trial.